So in this video I will fix up all the mess and chaos that you can see behind me. I mean, not that, yeah. This part, it's a total mess. Let's do something about it.
For a long time I've been wondering what to use this little corner in the workshop for.
Oops.
And as you see, it's been working as a place for storing things that I actually don't have place for in the workshop. So this motorcycle is a DKW RP250, which I got after my grandfather who bought it new in 1954. And this is my beloved go-kart that my grandfather, granduncle and uncle made for me in the early 2000s.
Det er livsfarlig.
Jo. Ja, det.
For a long time now I've been considering buying a CNC plasma cutter. And this area was the perfect spot to place a CNC plasma table. But this year I got a new hobby, 3D printing.
So now that this area of the workshop is all cleaned up, all the mess is just moved here. But that's a problem for future me. My plan for this space is that I'm gonna make a dedicated workstation for 3D printing. I'm gonna make a, I don't know, bench from here and all the way over here. Underneath I'm gonna make space for the tool cabinets. And also I'm planning making something over here for both lighting and storage.
So the last couple of months I've had the 3D printer at my office. In some ways it has been quite practical having the machine next to the Mac, but there was one issue: sound. Sound from the machine during printing. But I do have a place where sound is not a big issue, in the workshop.
If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
49 kilos.
So after making the bench, it was time to make the top piece. So I quickly cut up some 20mm square tubing and welded it together as well. It's really nice having a welding table like this. Everything goes a lot faster and also everything is square. But I'm not all that impressed about the welder. I mean, yeah, both the welder and also the welding machine. So this was a real cheap, I will call it a intro ESAB welding machine. So for the price it's all good, but I don't like the cable, it's a bit too short. And also it has a problem of overheating. I'm not a professional, but I do like having professional tools. I have seen it times and times again that having professional tools almost makes you a professional. It makes everything easier and more fun to do. So I'm always thinking buying the somewhat low end of the professional tools, like for instance Makita and not Festool, because Makita is around 80% as good as Festool, but it's maybe 1/4 of the price, or 1/6, I don't know. But back to the welder. If you have any recommendations for me, please leave a comment about that.
So now that the bench is somewhat finished and also the top piece is mounted, it's time for the next step. I'm doing a lot of metal work in this workshop. Welding, metal cutting, plasma cutting, grinding and so on. And almost everything of it makes a lot of dust. And I don't want dust to come inside the 3D printers. I have already welded a steel profile like so here at top. And this is going to work as a track for some sliding doors. But it's not going to be normal sliding doors. It's going to be, what is it? I'm gonna show you. So there it is, one frame, just 3 to go. Next step now is to measure the opening here. Cut some plastic glass, 93, 47.5. So this is some 3 millimeters, I don't know, polycarbonate. And I'm gonna cut it to fit the space inside the frames. And too bad for me, the plates is 80 centimeters times 120. I will just get to make one useful piece of each plate. So that's a bummer. I'm gonna get all of them at once. Perfect. Her. Det er varmt på hengslene. Der.
Let's try something else. Since this spray gun was total shit, I bought a new one, almost identical. But this time the container is mounted on top. So this is a so-called Bengalak from Quick, and it seems to be quite thick, and therefore they are recommending adding some thinner. Now it's up to here. It's the next day and it seems to have dried up quite good. Time to add the final color. So finally, after 24 hours, all the frames and also the top piece seems to be all dried up. I used the paint made by a brand called Quick. I don't know why it's called Quick, but after 24 hours, it seems to be ready for the next move, adding some glass panels or plastic. But first, let's remove the cover here. I must say I'm really looking forward to get my garage back in order. So this is just a rubber mat made for cars and trailers, workshops and yeah, things like this. And the bench top and also the sides here are painted with clear coat, so there should not be any issues with rust. It's not as long as they said it should be. That's a little problem. Or the bench is wider than I thought it was. I guess I want to have the nicest looking side in the front. I'm just gonna turn it around. So this is the polycarbonate plate that we cut earlier. So the polycarbonate plates are much stronger than the acrylic plates. Now I can just mark up where the bolts are. So I'm gonna drill 8mm hole for this. I think high speed is more safe, actually. So this is one of the advantages. Anyways, it says I have drilled hole almost entirely into the edge here without the glass breaking. And if this had been normal acrylic glass, I'm almost certain that it would have been a disaster. No cracks. So let's try it. I think it was this way. It was this way.
And then there is the 3D printed pulleys, has to be like so. And I'm not adding a washer because I want this nut to push only on the inside of the bearing. Seems to work quite well, but it's a bit wobbly. I need to add some support at the bottom, like I have here at the top. And for that, I think I'm gonna try my new 3D printer. And when I say new 3D printer, I don't mean the new X1, but that one. 44 kilos of new 3D printer. Maybe so this is the brand new H2S from Bambu Lab. It's the laser version, and this printer weighs a whopping 46 kilos. Let's unpack it. Quick guide. Laser tools. There it is. Yeah. And this machine is almost identical to the H2D, but it has only a 10 watt laser instead of 40. And also it has a single nozzle and not the dual nozzle as you have in the H2D, hence H2D for dual and H2S for single. So this is the AMS2. The main difference between the version 2 and the original first one is that this one also have a drying function, filament dryer. So let's get the rest out there. There is a couple of screws here in back also. Glass cover. So this is a vent pipe or exhaust pipe. Using the laser it will be some smoke, and it's a good thing getting that smoke outside. And this is of course for connecting the tubing on the backside. A safety stop switch and also a little key. So if the key is not placed in here, the machine will not start. And this is just some cardboard. And here is a couple of desiccant bags. So they just need to be open, like so. And I prefer just to open the first layer of plastic, not this. And another thing about the HMS2 is that now the piping is more accessible from the inside. Kit comes with an additional 0.4 nozzle, some tooling, needle, laser lens, rubber screws for chamber exhaust fan, screws for a spool holder, a camera privacy cover. I guess the machine is made in China, for scraper. And in this box there is a cutting tool, laser, metal base for when you're using the laser. Spool holder, let's connect it to some power and test it out. Now there is an outlet here on the back side. So let's just connect the AMS first. So So here is also a little key, the same as for the safety switch. So I guess probably I can just insert it like so and don't use the safety switch. I don't know. And then you can try connecting it. And unlike the X1 Carbon, if you are using the AMS2, you don't need a separate power supply for the AMS. It's going to be powered through the same cable. I need to remove this. Okay. So remember to remove that one as well. I was able to push a lot of this tubing inside here. It's a lot of dampening in the feet here. I guess that's one of the reasons it's so quiet. Everyone is saying it's quiet. So now I have removed the little red key on the back side, and I'm gonna insert this little plug. Let's power it up, and there is a little switch here on top. Nothing. Why? What's the reason? It was the safety switch. I thought it was fully up, but it wasn't. So, what is my password? Binding. So that was the air pump screw, the red one on the back side. I don't like the sound. Stupid me. So if you see here, there is still some beefy zip ties. I need to cut them. So now it's doing a motor noise cancellation. And what it's doing is that it's measuring the resonance of the motor, how to cancel it out. And another nice feature is that you can see this bar here. It's now 50%. The same you can see here with this huge LED progress bar. So this way you can easily see how far it is in the process it's doing. I just lifted up one of the X1 Carbon that I also have. I have one more that is going to be standing here in the middle, but now you can see the size difference. It's huge. Firmware update, downloading. So my camera ran out of battery, but now you can see two X1s and the H2S. And the first print. So I made these two pieces to support the bottom of the doors. So let's try it. So the plan here is to first add this other one. So these two are almost identical. The only difference is that I had to move this part to the very end because it's the last door. It seems to slide quite well. I also tried to make a model with bearings like this, but yeah, after testing it, it seems like the ones without bearings is sliding better. So the way I'm gonna do it is just to drill a hole here and add a bolt and maybe a nut and a washer between. Try to, yeah. Then I will just add a locking nut on the inside here. Same way here. And then a little washer. Align it like there. A little issue is that I can see the pulley here is somewhat lifted up from the track here. So either I can try to remove one of the washers here in between, or I can remove the nut I have mounted here in between. Now it has clearance here. That means the weight will be on the pulley on top. So it works quite well, but I can see that I have done something stupid. So these two hinges are not meant to be welded onto the outside of the frame, because now the door is too far that way, and for the rest it's aligned with this track. So I will have to cut them off and weld them onto the right location. I will fix it. But before that, I'm gonna try moving the two Bacho tool cabinets and push them under here. So as you see, this is not going to work. It needs to be lower. I need 8mm. Not sure if this is a good idea. It's probably not. So my plan is to swap these kind of heavy-duty wheels with these not so heavy-duty wheels. It's starting to look like something, but still there is quite a few things that I want to add. Since most of it is in a dark color, dark gray or black, it's a quite dim area. So I need to add some lighting in top here, maybe also some lighting in the ceiling in front. And I'm planning making a system for the filament, the poop chute, or what it's called, some kind of channel system, so that the filament can drop down in a channel directly into the trash bin. And of course, this part, it's not meant to be like that. The whole point of having glass doors is to prevent dust and debris getting inside the 3D printer. And now it's, of course, totally open here. I guess it's obvious, but there is missing something over there. Yeah, another machine. A coffee machine. A machine is a machine. So I guess this video is getting kind of long, so I will have to get back to this project in a future video. It's not going to be the next one, because tomorrow I am waiting delivery of something quite fun.